Howdy, y'all, and welcome to episode 16 of Our Parents' Basement, a podcast where we represent the U.S. of A. Last week, we talked about our pickups for the month of June, and we tried to convince you, our loving audience, to try some cool games. Hopefully you did, but if not, that's okay. And remember, you can always listen to our old episodes on our website, or you can check out our YouTube channel, or you can go to iTunes. So many options. So much diversity, just like this fine nation we live in. So tonight, for our first episode of the month of July, we have some cool stuff to talk about, and I'm looking forward to it as always. So why don't we get this rodeo on the road, as they say. So as you all know, I'm Cashel, and I am representing with my stars and stripes today. So yay for the USA. And with us this evening, we have some very fly dogs. The first is a master fisherman and master of disguise. We got Mr. Nikon, aka Charles.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
There he is. Glad to have you. We got super fly dog with his hat on backwards. We have, of course, I'm talking about Turf. He is representing the Arkansas nation right now.
It's America, bitch.
Yes, it is. And last but never least, from New Jersey, he is coming to us with all his super swag, as usual. It is Zach C. He is here too.
Don't you ever use that word to describe me.
Super what? Super swag?
It's anything involving that shit.
I'll be sure to say it next time then, just for you. Ding! Anyways, as you couldn't tell already, we have, I've been going on about how great this nation is and all that good stuff. Obviously, we just recently celebrated 4th of July, and in honor of that, I thought it would be, actually, no, I didn't think, one of our castmates, Turf, thought it'd be cool to kind of pay homage to this fine nation we live in. That being said, I'm going to hand the floor over to Turf. This was his idea. So, Turf, I want you to take it away.
All right. Well, a lot of, this being the first show, I know we're a few days late after, Independence Day, but this is our first show since then. So what I thought we might do, most, when you think video games, you generally think Japanese stuff, but there are a handful that are very American, very patriotic, very just stars and stripes just emblazoned right there on them. So I thought we might go around the table and everybody kind of share some of their favorite games that embody America or are American. Just yeah. So I'll tell you what. I'll start off. Zach, you want to lead us off with some game that makes you think America?
Oh well, I'm gonna say Wolfenstein. Holding up here the New Order because that's personally the one I like the most. And main reason, what's more American than shooting Nazis?
Well said, sir. Well said.
So is that the whole premise of it? Just you're shooting Nazis?
Do you need more than that?
I mean, there's got to be a story. Like, is it World War II or the Nazis resurrected? I mean,
Aren't they like zombie Nazis?
Well,
zombie Nazis.
in the New Order, it starts off in World War II. However, the main character B.J. Blazkowicz gets knocked out. And suddenly it's in the future where where the Nazis won World War II and everything's all dystopia now, and you gotta go around shooting Nazis.
I'm in. Actually bought that last week, so I haven't played it yet, but
yeah, it's real good. I mean, like that is really good.
all right. So, all right, dude gets knocked out. You wake up. The Nazis are running things. So the idea: are you taking over the world? Are you stopping the regime? What's the point?
You're basically going to stop the Nazis.
All right, there we go. So I guess Hitler's still in charge. We're probably going to kill Hitler at some point in the game.
I hope so.
That son of a bitch had it coming.
That mustache, so unfashionable.
At one point, you end up on the moon.
Well, obviously, that would be the next logical step. And about that mustache, he ruined that look for everybody. Charlie Chaplin rocked it. He was fine with it. Everybody was like, hey, the little 3/4 mustache, that's fine. Hitler ruined that look.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So we might still be rocking it today if he hadn't done that.
Yeah.
Instead of a beard here, I'd be like, oh, yes.
Yeah, it was like the size of a quarter, and I don't know. It looked like it didn't take that much effort to even to grow. Maybe he had a problem growing facial hair. That's all he got was this.
It's like he got the goatee transplanted up there.
So
The little tuft of beard right here.
That's like instead of a soul patch, he had like the no soul patch right
patch,
here.
yeah, that's
no
what
soul
it is.
patch.
You move it 2 fingers, and then you I don't know. You have no soul.
He sucked. Wolfenstein 3D, very interesting, very interesting.
That's the
Like
new order.
Or New Order, yeah, that. Cool, good choice. Now,
Well,
Turf, your Tom
me-
had the bit. What about
I'll tell
you?
you what. I don't have. I mean, I have one, so we're going to have to come back around. But the one I wanted to point out, it's kind of tongue in cheek, kind of very America, not American like we usually say, but kind of like when we're poking fun at America. It's
America.
Broforce. If you
Yeah.
haven't played Broforce, you're cheating yourself. It's downloadable and everything. It's a digital only thing. I wish Limited Run Games would come out with one, so I could have a physical copy of Broforce. But you're like going to Iraqistan and they don't speak English, so we have to take them over. It's silly, and it's like you've got all the 80s action stars, the 90s action stars in this game. There's like a Rambo and there's a dude from Time Cop. There's Walker Texas Ranger. Just all kinds of these crazy action heroes stuffed into this one game, or a parody of them, I guess, stuck into this one game. And man, it's a blast. And it's run and gun good. Like if you like Metal Slug or Contra or stuff like that, it's kind of difficult, but they give you plenty of lives, so it's super fun. And you're always unlocking something. So if you get a chance, Broforce, America, yes.
Digital only though, right? You can only download it.
Only, but it's also
That's
co-op.
fine.
So you get you some co-op action in there. That's always fun.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. Mr. Nikon, what about you?
That's what I got. I've got All American game. I gotta go with NBA Jam Tournament Edition. Those are like,
He's on fire.
boom shakalaka.
I told y'all that when I went to Oklahoma City to Super BitCon, I actually talked to Mark Trammell, the guy that developed that. I talked to him for a little while. Super cool guy, and he's really proud of NBA Jam, and he'll talk to you about it for forever. I wish I'd have taken my copy of NBA Jam to get him to sign, because he was happily doing that. And he took one guy that I know. He took his copy of NBA Jam on the Sega CD, popped out the deal, and went to the back of the manual. He took the manual out and where the notes are. He wrote down the code for his own character in the manual, and then signed the front of it. I thought that was really neat, really cool thing for him to do.
Yeah, my neighbor worked on I know he worked on at least the arcade game for this one.
Really?
And he's on the unlockable characters on it.
That is so cool.
So yeah, he's actually got the machine in his basement. So.
Oh, that's neat. Wow.
So what about you, Cashel? Have you got anything or?
I struggle with this one. I looked through stuff and I didn't have anything at the top of my in my collection per se. But I mean, when I think of America, I think Americans love their blood and gore. So would you consider Mortal Kombat to be America, or is that a little too diverse?
Well, I mean, when I was thinking this, when I came up with this topic, I was thinking not necessarily games that would be like America, like what we think is like violence and stuff like that, or basketball or baseball. Or I was thinking things that like had the like Captain America game, or something like. I'll tell you one of them that I thought of is Homefront. Came out Xbox or PS3, Xbox 360 type era. And anyways, the United States has been invaded, so you're defending your home country just as it's a first-person shooter, just kind of generic, but it has a cool story to it. It's kind of Red Dawnish, or I guess it is Red Dawn, if you've ever seen that movie, except you're an adult. So that was another one that it really has that patriotic feel to it, you know. Something else might have been like Russian Attack. In the 80s, we were all, I mean, it's Rush, N, like the letter N, attack, like rush and attack. But, you know, they spelled it so you would call it Russian Attack because, you know, the whole Cold War thing was winding down, I guess, maybe. But we were still in it.
Those big bad Soviets were going to kill us.
Right. we were out to stop them. You know, so there's a lot of those commando type games that we were taking on the Russians, or, you know, things where the old stars and stripes were really waving.
Okay.
That type of game.
Yeah. What about like Operation Wolf, like for the arcade?
Right. Yeah. Something like that.
Okay. Yeah, I played that back in the. I mean, obviously I don't have it with me because I don't have the arcade cabinet. Operation Wolf, and I think there's a sequel, Operation Thunderbolt, Operation Thunderstrike, Operation something like that. Still played those.
He's got a Charlie horse, of course. Operation.
Is it water on the?
He's got water on the knee.
Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
He's got a burning STD.
Right. You know, we've been on this for a little bit now, and I think that there's one question that still needs to be asked. Are you a bad enough dude to save the president?
Yes. See, that's a
good
example.
one.
Like, Ron, or was it President Ronnie? Is that who it was in that game?
Yeah.
It's Ronald Reagan. And like when you beat the game, he says, "Let's go get a burger." You know, it's the most American thing ever.
God was America.
Another one that I thought of, just this is kind of off the top of my head, was Assassin's Creed 3. If you played that one, it's set up during the Revolutionary War. So there's a lot of things, like you're there when they're signing the Declaration of Independence, you know, in the game. You're there with all these historical characters while they're signing that. They're debating about things, and you're there at a lot of the battles during the Revolutionary War. And now, I mean, you're not a historical figure. You're obviously a fictional character, you know, in the game, but you're there witnessing history. And I thought that was really cool that it's like set around, you know, the Independence Day and all that. So that was another really cool one.
Okay. Yeah, I played some of those. Definitely played Bad Dudes. I think it was hard. I was never able to beat it, so I never got the burger cinematic. But I'll take your word for it because that's America.
It's America.
Burgers are America.
Does anybody else got one? Because I've got another one that I want to show off that I probably should have just pulled up the screen or the shot for the whatever for it. It's a horrible game. It's absolutely a terrible game. It's a Color Dreams game for the NES, but it has my favorite, absolute wonderful cover art ever. It's Operation Secret Storm. Can y'all see that?
Oh, can I ever?
Any game it has a caricature of Saddam Hussein on the front of it. Is the most. This is America right here. This is America. I mean, it's set around Operation Desert Storm. So there wasn't much more. I mean, I guess the November 12th was the most patriotic day in history, but other than that, during Desert Storm, you know, I remember my teacher. I was in 4th grade. She wore an American flag pin every day for the whole time that was going on.
Wow.
And everybody was kind of behind. You know, Norman Schwarzkopf was doing his thing, and we're like, yeah, you do it, man. They're evil. Yes, America. So
Stormin' Norman.
Hey, somewhere around here, I have I have a Stormin' Norman trading card. I have the Operation Desert Storm trading cards. That was a thing. That's how American we were.
For real?
Yeah, and I guess 1991. Yeah, I have
Wow.
I tried to get the whole set because you could buy them right next to the baseball cards everywhere. So I have a boatload. It had like you had trading cards of generals. See, George Bush had a trading card in there. I know there was like tanks and aircraft and all this other stuff. You know, the military equipment, like the Patriot missile had its own card, and that was just kind of cool. But kind of a neat, weird thing from back in the day.
Now
But
the
yeah,
last-
there's another America game, Operation Secret Storm.
That was the last time U.S. battleships were used in war. Last time they fired their big old 16-inch guns.
16 inches, huh? Nice.
There's nothing.
America is all about the bigger the better too. I've learned as well, so here for that. Anyone else have a game to show their pride?
That's how I really have. Well,
Yeah, I did.
duck hunt. Come on.
I mean, you're
We're
shooting
Americans.
things.
We like to hunt dunks and shoot guns.
What about like the Call of Duty games or the Modern Warfare games? Are those?
Well, especially like
I never played them, but
the Call of Duty 1, the Call of Duty, was it Big Red 1, Call of Duty 2, and I think Call of Duty 3 were all set in World War II. So those are very, very patriotic type games.
okay.
Call of Duty 4, the first Modern Warfare game, is set in like the Middle East. So I mean, it's still the same type of thing, except for a different setting. But especially in the first Battlefield games, those were all set in World War II. It's very much the Germans are bad, and the Italians are bad. We're gonna do what we can to stop this. So.
Okay. I kind of figured they were. I never touched them, so
I really like them. I like those a lot better than I do the Modern Warfare ones, just because I don't know, it's something different.
Yeah. I'm not very good at first-person shooters anyway, though. And they make me dizzy, so can't really.
I really like the single player on them. Can't dedicate enough time to play the online because I don't have time to get good. So, but the single player of those, even up to I know Call of Duty 4 and maybe Modern Warfare 2. I think that may have been the last one I played was Modern Warfare 2. The single player on them is really fun. It's a good game. It's actually got a pretty good story if you give it a second to try it out. It's very like politically fueled and very somebody sets off a nuke and you're trying to save the world from nuclear winter. It's there's more to it than just the bros getting down and shooting each other.
Alrighty. So fair amount of games, a lot that I never would have thought of. Representing those stars and stripes. So very interesting idea for a topic, Turf. I really liked it. Anyone else have another game to show off? No. In that case, Turf, you also had another idea for a topic. This is like Turf Thursday today.
That's right. That's what we're going to change the name of this show to Turf Presents Our Parents' Basement, hosted by Turf, starring Turf, brought to you by Turf.
I thought it'd be Turf Presents a Turf Show starring Turf. Sometimes
No,
other
we're
people
still going to call it
talk
Our Parents' Basement because I like the name.
It's Turf.
I like Turf and Friends.
too.
But,
So Turf, what's the topic?
It's
The other thing I was
our
thinking
turf
about-
and stuff.
I was thinking about the $60 price point of games. Anymore is $60? Is it, since we're releasing so many games to be digitally distributed? Is it too high? Or now that you have these games and you'll have a $20, $30 season, $50 season pass, would consumers feel better if you charged me $80 or $100 for the game and just gave me the season pass instead of trying to get a little bit more out of me? So I just kind of wanted to pass that around and see what y'all thought about. Is the $60 price point too high? Is it too low? Is it where we need to be? Just kind of talk about the model of selling new games these days.
Well, what do you think so far about it?
Well, honestly, I kind of like for these AAA games, like Star Wars Battlefront. If they would have just charged me, $100 and gave me a complete game, I think I would have been happier with it than, before the game came out, they announced DLC. You're getting me for a $60 game or $70 game because I got the deluxe edition. So got a $70 game.
You poor sod.
Oh, I know. And then they're going to hit me for another $50. Before I've bought the game, you're telling me it's going to be another $50 around Christmas.
Wow.
if you just charged me $100 for the day one and said, hey, we're going to have, another half of a game added on by Christmas, I would have been pumped with that. I think I would have been fine. I think I would have still bought the game. But, with the way that they did, the way a lot of companies are doing now is they're just going to try to get a little bit more out of you. $60 is kind of the historical price point and has been since probably since we've gone to discs. No Nintendo 64 games were a little higher.
Yeah.
They edged up against 70, or they're around $70 whenever for Super Nintendo games. But the $60
didn't PS1 games end up being like around $40 or something?
They were, I think $49.99 might have been the price point for PS1 games.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, and then you got the PS2, PS2, Xbox, and GameCube, which were at $50 also.
And we've been, I think, 2 or 3 generations we've been at $60, and that's kind of
the 360 and this generation that they have been $60.
Well, Xbox, like the original Xbox games were $60. They were $59.99.
No,
did not know that.
I'm pretty sure that they were just 50.
Well, I mean, okay. Either way, we've been stuck at like the $60 price point, and is it, like I said, is it too high? Is it too low? Do we need
I think it depends on the game, honestly. Like for a big, awesome AAA title, yeah, I think $60 I guess is fine. $60 is a lot of money. I mean, that could buy a lot of things, but at the same time, I know it costs a lot of money to make a game, and especially if it's a big budget title, you're going to want to get some profit. So the $60 price point kind of makes sense. And I think, but the biggest thing is, if it's worth $60 to you, the buyer, that's a big question you should be asking yourself. So will you buy it on release day and pay that price point because you are looking forward to it that much, or do you want to wait and see if it goes down in price? Is that how much is that game worth to you? I guess this question is such a tricky one because $60. I mean, some games, yes, they're definitely worth $60 to me. Others, no. Maybe if you gave me $60, I would buy it, or I'd play it.
And then you got to realize that there's also games that do come out at a lower price point, such as Ratchet and Clank on the PS4 that came out at $40.
But I think a lot of those that are coming out at that lower price point, they're trying to do that to entice sales because they're not expecting it to be a super blockbuster type game. Like, well, we got this game made and it's not that good, so let's go ahead and put it out there. Like the other day, I guess this past Tuesday, the Rocket League Collector's Edition came out for PS4.
Oh, that did.
Yeah, the physical copy of Rocket League. So I went and got that, and it was $30. I don't have any problem with that. A $30. I think it's $20 or $25 to download. So I paid $5 to get a physical copy. It was I think $12 during the Steam sale. So, I mean, I don't have a problem with that. It's just what they expect out of the games. I think what they think they can get out of them determines the price point, not as much But you won't find many games that go higher than 60. That's the cutoff. There's not. You might get that, the deluxe edition or the collector's edition or something like stuff like that'll be higher. But for just the game, $60 is where it's at. I've kind of to the point like these AAA titles that they're going to keep making and they're going to support. Yeah, charge me more. I mean, I'll go ahead and get it. Because if it's something like Star Wars Battlefront that I was looking forward to, I would have felt better. Y'all EA telling me, yeah, there's more coming. Just go ahead and put down your whole money, and I'd have been happier with that than I would the way they did it.
Yeah, but knowing EA, they would have charged you the $50 for the season pass and made you pay the $100.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm saying if they wanted to, if they would have done it that way, I think I would have been happier. But that's just me. That's just my thought. It really depends on the game. I think Cashel hit the nail on the head. It depends on the game, and it depends on the content, and how obviously Star Wars costs a lot more to make than Shovel Knight. You know, I think Shovel Knight was a $30 game. It might have been 40. I don't remember when I bought it.
It was a $20 game when it first came out. When they released the physical version, it was $25, and that was so stores could actually put it in the display cases. Otherwise, it would have just gone straight to the bargain bin.
Okay, man. But see,
For some reason,
being a $25 game or whatever it was, then yeah, that was definitely worth it for me. So I think it depends on the game, like you said.
Yeah. Depends on the game. Depends on how much you want to try that game. Depends on how much, and how invested you are in that series, if it's a part of a bigger series. Like, I just bought the collector's edition for Star Ocean 5, and I'm loving it. It's been worth every penny to me so far. A lot of other people are disagreeing, which is fine, but they still paid that price point. So it's a very tricky question. Mr. Nikon, we haven't heard much from you about it. What do you think about this price?
I'm just really starting to get into the current generation stuff, so I've only had like a PS4 for like 2-3 months. Before that, the newest thing I had was a Wii, which haven't had for that long, so
Yeah.
I haven't really jumped into the PlayStation 4, buying too many games. I've only got, 4 games for it?
You need to go buy Rocket League, because we're going to play online. It's going to be fun.
Okay.
And go buy Shovel Knight, because that game is great.
I would say go buy a game that I like, but you probably wouldn't like it, so I'm not going to.
Do you have 120 hours to sit down and learn Japanese? That's the game.
This game is for you.
EA.
That's a no in Japanese. So for people who like to gravitate more towards the older stuff, maybe the $60 price tag really isn't an issue for them. Well, of course, a lot of the games they buy are higher than $60, something rare.
Sometimes.
Well, then you're crossing over into a whole different world. You're getting
exactly.
The collector mentality and the gaming mentality are two different animals. There's very few games that I would pay more than $60 to play that are older. I've paid a lot of money for games that I wanted to have.
Mm-hmm. But something turned out to be fun.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
That's important to think.
Well,
keep that in mind.
Like the go-to that we always talk about is Little Samson. It's a fortune, but it's a fun game. Is it $800 or $1,000, whatever it is now? Is it $1,000 fun? No, it's not. But I mean, if I wouldn't have had a problem paying $100 for it, I think it's $100 fun.
Mm-hmm. Emulation.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, for me, when it comes to the retro games, my cutoff point is around $45. And
I don't know.
Yeah, and where that's for, I pretty much have only paid that twice, and those games were Conker's Bad Fur Day and Secret of Mana.
That's a good choice.
That last one.
Yeah, it's rare that I'll pay even that much for a game.
Yeah, I almost bought.
I mean, I have no problem paying the $60 price for new games, but then again, I got the whole Amazon Prime 20% off week 1 and Best Buy's Gamers Club Unlocked. So I'm getting 20% off then.
I almost bought DuckTales 2 in a game store once.
Game Store or GameStop?
Game store.
Okay, but say Game Store had that. You almost bought it to try to justify.
I'm like, do I want to buy this? I'm like, it was. They had it for $175 or something like that.
Wow.
Whew. I can't believe that's gone up that much.
Yeah.
But I'm like, then I'm looking like, ooh, they've got Mega Man 5 also.
But you have that now, so you're good
Yeah,
there.
I have that now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I know a guy that's got the Jetsons for sale if you want it.
Jetsons. Is that another rare one?
Yeah, it's over 100. It's probably about 130, 140.
That is so crazy.
It's fun. It really is
I'm
a
sure
fun
it's
game.
fun.
I mean,
Yeah.
it would be like a $45 fun game. Like if it doesn't, it's rarity, and it really is. It's a pretty scarce game, and that's the collector mentality there. But if you just fun of it, yeah, $45 would be about $50 would be about right for it.
Okay.
But anyways, back to the topic.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of torn on it because I think for some games, and like I said, I think you hit the nail on the head. Some games it's definitely $60 is low for these big blockbusters, but then you got these other games that they're obviously budget titles that $60 would be way too high.
Mm-hmm.
Now let me ask y'all something else. In the world that we're obviously moving towards, which none of us are really into, is digital distribution. It's coming. There's going to be like a niche audience for physical media, but digital media is it's coming. We're probably not even going to be like it'll be some kind of service like Steam that we play all in the cloud. Maybe this generation, maybe in 10 years, that's the way it's going to be. So, do y'all think $60 will still be the price point when there's no physical media that anybody's selling you? All they have to do is flip a switch and maintain a server.
I hope not. I really hope not. $60 for a bunch of letters and numbers?
Well,
that just seems ridiculous to me.
They're already charging you that for the digital versions. I don't see that changing.
Yeah, if in like 10 years, $60 is still a price for a digital game, I could see that because cost of materials go up over time and cost of shipping goes up over time, fuel costs and all that. So if they put it into like actual disc, 10 years from now, that could be $70, $80 just for in a physical copy.
Yeah.
And you've got to think that like the $60 price point that we've had for just call it 10 years, a little bit more. What about inflation? $60 now is not what $60 was in 1994. For a Super Nintendo game that was $60. There's a big difference. $60 might have been all your birthday money. Now it might be from one person.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez, who do you know? I want to be friends with these people. But I know what you mean. Yeah, times have changed, and the value of the dollar has definitely gone up since that Super Nintendo era. I don't know. I don't know why they arrived at the $60 price limit. It just seems like such a random place to land on.
Probably some blurred backroom agreements say let's just do it $60 and keep it that way.
Well, I think there was a lot of trial and error.
At what point will you hit the right amount to where you can even out, basically, as far as sales go, in order to make up for the budget?
That's where they maximize profits. And like I said, I think it was a little bit of trial and error that they said, they came out with a game. There were some $80 games for the Super Nintendo, and they didn't sell as well. Like there were places, not everywhere, but that Street Fighter II Turbo was $80. It was $79.99 a lot of places.
I think Chrono Trigger was $80 too.
I think you're right. So a lot of the bigger games for Super Nintendo were pretty expensive. So and they may have not have sold as well as the one that was $60. So there's some place that they were maximizing profits, and I think that's probably the trial and error got them at $60. $50 they weren't making quite as much money as they could. They might have been making enough, but they weren't making as much as they could, and when you went over that, then you had diminishing returns. So
yeah.
And honestly, I think that a lot of people, if they go over $60, they'll probably get out, I think. Just because that will be some games, it's just like their one game that they get, the Call of Duty, the Madden of that year. And anymore, they might not be getting that game.
I think you'll lose a lot of people if you go higher than $60. You'll lose a lot of the impulse buys. And I know,
yeah, that's a good call.
Definitely me. If a game's $50 or less, I'm way more likely to impulse buy it than I am if it's full price. Yeah. There won't be a $60 game that I just go, I kind of want this, and I'll grab it.
There are some people out there who they don't seem to mind a $60 price tag. Some people, at least on VG Collect, as far as I can tell, a new game is coming out. They're there as soon as GameStop opens on Tuesday, shelling out the $60 for each new release and not even doing their research to see if they would like the game at all. To me, that to me, in that case, the $60 price point is, well, I'm not even sure how to classify it. I mean, on the one hand, yeah.
So basically, you're talking about the flea there?
Does he do that? I thought he just goes to yard sales. I don't.
You look every week. He's got the newest games in that list of things that he puts on there.
I don't pay attention to that.
And it's
All I
always
know
like
is that he does the garage sale stuff. So.
Okay.
But I'll take your word. I take your word for it, though. But yeah, people like that, like, I guess $60 doesn't seems to bother them. So I guess some people don't care about the price. They would pay whatever for a new game. You know what I mean?
Yes, I mean it's just my own psychology. It's the way my little brain works. That I may there's some cutoff in there. It's probably around $45 that just I don't impulse buy after that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't just go, hey, this looks kind of cool, and then throw it in the basket.
Yeah.
I have to look, make sure it has to be something I want to pay full price for. And if I'm going to pay full price for a game, I've probably pre-ordered it because there's very few games that I'm going to pay full price for that I don't already know about and I'm going to get day one. So
I'm really glad you brought that up.
I'm trying to stop doing that so much.
What? Pre-ordering?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good point because the $60 price tag doesn't seem that big of a blow to the wallet because usually you can pay in increments or something like that, or when you pick it up the day of, you already prepaid it off. You're just picking up a game, not putting any money for it. It's a weird psychology to it. So.
I do that too. I pay whenever I pre-order something, I put $30 down on it, and then it's half price when I go pick it up.
Yeah,
that's just the way my little brain works. It doesn't hurt near as bad to pay it part of it at a time. So,
but it also doesn't hurt when you got 20% off.
No, it doesn't. That does not hurt at all.
Because I mean, I'll say right now, I only got 3 games pre-ordered. Shantae Half Genie Hero, this one double Vita game. I forget, it was released by Nice America a while back. The Firefly Diary.
Oh yeah, I have that pre-ordered too. Because of the cup.
Yeah, they got the limited edition on Amazon, so I ordered that. And God Eater 2, which that has 2 games in it for the Day 1 edition. So that's my justification for the $60 there.
Has there ever been a game that you bought full price, bought new full price, and this is for everyone, that you're like, okay, this is so not worth $60, I just completely wasted my money?
Star Wars Battlefront. For the first week, I loved that game. I was crazy, and I was like, man, this is kind of weak. There needs to be more to it. So, yeah, there you go. I wasted $60 on that, and I wasn't about to give them my extra for the DLC after that.
Yeah. Zach?
I'm trying to think. The only game I can even think of was a birthday present that I was like, why did I ask for this game? And that was Monsters Inc. Scream Arena.
That's pretty random.
Yeah.
How old were you?
Jeez, whenever that movie came out.
Like 2001, 2002?
He was 3.
3.
Just a wee lad.
Oh, he's just a wee bit of a lad right then. That's in. He wasn't born into a big gamer yet. He's just a baby, Zach. He couldn't get his whole hands around the controls that push the A and B buttons correctly.
Oh my
Your
goodness.
fake accent is so thick, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. He's got a million of those accents too. He's like a polyglot. For me, a game I regret paying full price for was Tales of Zestiria for the PlayStation 4. I should have waited to get that, which says a lot because that's my favorite series of all time, and that game was such a disappointment. So.
You know, I was about 11 when the Monsters Inc. game came out, so.
3 is pretty much on the button.
I'm just messing with you, Zach.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that
You're just the baby of the group.
I was just curious.
You are.
And I'm the old man.
We know that you're a man. You've got facial hair. You don't have to defend yourself.
Wait, I thought Turf was the old man.
I probably am. I'm about half dead already. I was trimming the old beard the other day, and I looked at my chin. I was like, "There's some gray hairs." I'm like, "Oh Jesus, I'm that old."
Yep. It
Jenny
happens.
likes to pull gray hairs out of my head.
If somebody pulls a gray hair out of my head, I'll kill them. I need every one of them I can get.
I got my grays too. It's all good. It's all about that salt and pepper realness. You know.
All right, guys. I
Anyways.
think we've about beat that dead horse all we can. I had another idea that I kind of want to run by y'all, and I'm going to do this quick because we may revisit this and do it a little bit deeper. As gamers of playing games our whole lives, you've had ideas of what that would be so cool if they did a game. So I just kind of wanted to just real quickly touch on something that maybe you had an idea for a game. It's like would be on your wish list. Would be like, man, I really wish somebody would take this idea and make a game out of it. So, do y'all have any kind of ideas or anything that you wish that somebody somewhere along the line somebody would have made that game?
Oh yeah.
Well,
Everyone does.
well, my thought is actually becoming reality was the Berserk Warriors game.
That's nuts, man.
Yeah.
We were on VG Collect where we all met, vgcollect.com. It's a wonderful place to house your collection, to list your collection and keep track of all your collecting needs. vgcollect.com. It's where collectors collect.
Because
Ding.
sometimes you forget what games you have. The games are, do I have this game already? I don't remember.
We were on the forums there. We were talking about that, and there was what things would you like to cross with Dynasty Warriors?
Dynasty Warriors. Yep.
It was after Hyrule Warriors came out is when it started, I think. And then somebody said the Berserk anime. Is that correct? It's an anime.
Oh yeah.
Anime manga is really a manga. So
Okay, so we've got this manga called Berserk, and I think Zach said, "Hey, that'd be really cool if we could cross that with Dynasty Warriors." And then like 2 weeks later, somebody said, "Who said that?" Because they announced that they were going to do it. That was wild.
And it's such a good anime too. And there's a Berserk game on the Dreamcast, which is pretty good, but
it's hard to go back to
so
due
much.
to the mechanics of it.
What was
Because
that?
I'd say that it's hard to go back to because of the mechanics, being how your sword would actually bounce
Flick
off the walls
Yeah.
and really just hurt you, I guess. Because you can't really do any combos and where you just keep getting hit.
You're supposed to, I guess the game wants you to put your sword away and fight with your fisticuffs and your crossbow, but where's the fun in that? You just want to use your
You know what?
big
That
sword.
stuff doesn't do much damage.
Yeah, I mean, it gets you by, but the
then
sword is
again,
more fun.
Not much does damage compared to a 6-foot, basically, paddle of iron.
Exactly, yeah. That sword is where it's at. I mean, that's what drew me to Berserk in the first place, was that ridiculously sized weapon. So,
That's what she said.
giggity. I hope so.
Well, there was a lot of good ones that I liked to just stay across with Dynasty Warriors, and that I think that would be. There's a lot of really cool opportunities there with the hack and slash open field type formula. One of the ones I wanted to see was I'd like to see like Dynasty Warriors. You know, it's kind of historical. The battles really took place, things like that. The characters were real people. I'd like to see that in like medieval Europe. You know, actual historical battles with the lords and ladies of the time, and I want to have to dodge the guy with the longbow lobbing arrows in at me. I want to go with my sword and or my hammer. Maybe not only that, we can mix Vikings in with it. How cool would a Viking game that's like Dynasty Warriors be? You know, there's these huge battlefields and things like that you imagine you like seeing movies like Braveheart or like 13th Warrior. They had a big battle scene in that, or Game of Thrones. How a Game of Thrones type Dynasty Warriors game would be really cool. Or I also thought a Game of Thrones real-time strategy game would be fun. You know, and that you had to set the big battlefields. You know, you had to send your troops whatever way. That was another. I was saying Game of Thrones just ended, and I'm trying to fill that space in my mind with something. So I was like, Game of Thrones games. But anyways, that That was a couple that I had, and I'm talking a whole lot this time, so y'all do have to jump in there and tell me to shut up.
I would never
Yeah,
do
well,
such a thing.
two other things I can think of that would make good Warriors types games. Fire Emblem, they got a lot of characters for that series that would work pretty well in that type of setting. Do something like they did with Hyrule Warriors for it. And also, just this was actually a suggestion on that same forum page, a Shonen Jump one. Get all the different characters from those types of manga, Dragon Ball, Bleach, One Piece, Beelzebub. That's a good one. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Just get a whole bunch of those types of characters and put them into that type of scenario. As far as a Warriors game.
Yeah, you gotta leave Dragon Ball out because who's gonna go up against Goku? Then
Have you ever seen half of the stuff that they do in any of those things?
no, but I just know Goku versus Superman's a thing. So
Yeah, and Superman would wipe the floor with Goku. Sorry.
we're not gonna have that talk. If Batman can whoop Superman, because that happened,
Spoilers.
then I might be able to take him if I had enough money. Planning, man, planning. Anyways, just completely getting away from the hack and slash, the Dynasty Warriors. I had another thing, and I've drawn a blank now that I've started rattling my gums.
Well, I was thinking more stuff for Dynasty Warriors too. There's like a lot of great series out there that'd just be fun to take control of a character and just hack platoons
Oh yeah,
to
and
bits.
that's such a cool formula that it's easy. I mean, I say it's easy to do. It's easy to put anybody you think of in that scenario and then just mow the floor. Like Ninja Turtles. How cool would a Dynasty Warriors Ninja Turtles game be? Just mobs and mobs
Foot soldiers coming at you.
Foot soldiers coming at you, and you're just swinging a giant katana or nunchucks or whatever and mowing them down. I think that'd be really cool.
Oh yeah.
There's so many things that you could put in with that Dynasty Warriors formula, and just not necessarily just reskin it, but I mean put characters in that scenario, and it would just be really any kind of game that has a cool melee weapon would make a cool Dynasty Warriors type game, in my opinion. But
these guys are just so much fun to play. They're so easy to pick up, and the controls aren't that difficult to master. So I mean, that's what it's all about, just getting, good accessibility for those types of games.
Another thing that I wanted to see or I would like to see is maybe not even stuff you would think of, not necessarily like the Ninja Turtles or the Shonen Jump or any of that stuff. Something silly. I mean, there was a Simpsons arcade beat 'em up. Put something like that.
Perfect.
I mean, not necessarily Simpsons, but I mean that was a good game. That was a good arcade game. So put just random stuff in there and have fun with it.
Yeah, if it's done well, it could be a great game. I mean, I don't know. I was reading Calvin and Hobbes the other day. I thought that'd be hilarious. Calvin and Hobbes in a Muso style game. It could work too if it was done well.
Do a Monty Python game.
Ooh, yeah, that could be fun. That could be crazy. That'd be so many adjectives.
What kind of premise would you use for a Monty Python game? Are we wanting to, or the Ministry of Silly Walks, or what are we gonna do?
Life of Brian.
Life of Brian or Monty Python and Holy Grail.
I was gonna say pretty much the Holy Grail everybody knows about, so that'd be the most obvious choice.
Oh, I want a Monty Python and the Holy Grail RPG.
Oh, I'd play that.
I want an old school turn-based RPG.
So many developer. Start making that.
Day one purchase for me.
I'm in, man. You make it like Final Fantasy 3, and it's Final Fantasy 3, not Final Fantasy 6, because
if you're a dick, we know, Turf. We said before. I read your post on BG Collect too.
Because this is America.
Fantasy 3. We were just talking about it.
If you made it like a turn-based deal like that, or even like the South Park Stick of Truth, you got to make it kind of dumb because I'm not a tactical type guy. You've got to really dumb it down, the RPG elements. But if you made somebody made a Monty Python RPG that was pretty shallow, I'd be in, man. Give me like 12 hours of gameplay and I'm in.
Yeah.
A Faulty Towers game.
Oh, what game?
Faulty Towers.
Faulty Towers.
The other show that John Cleese is on, he ran a hotel and
Huh.
know.
Totally bumbling.
Whew, that was a deep cut. Deep cut.
Sorry. Oh,
I
duh.
got
Oh, go
I
ahead.
got two things or a couple of ideas. One,
Let's
I
hear
want
these.
a Batman game where the main villain is not the Joker.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, that's what I liked about the TV show Beware the Batman. No Joker in it at all. In fact, the main bad guy was Anarchy in that show. But anyways, I'd also like to see Rocksteady's take on a Green Arrow game. Personally, Green Arrow is one of my favorites, but I mean, I'd just like to see a game based on him, or just have him as a playable character.
See, stuff like that, if they would just take a character like Green Arrow, or even like Doctor Strange that nobody knows anything about. I mean, you have to be a comic fan to know about Doctor Strange. But
Well, they got the movie coming out soon, so that would actually be prime material right there.
right. But I'm saying don't tie it to the movie. Just make a game.
Mm-hmm.
Just make a Luke Cage game. You know that nobody know. There's no real. I mean, yeah, Luke Cage is getting his Netflix show, but
Little $20 3D beat 'em up for Luke Cage.
yes, I would buy 2 copies and give one away.
And
Next
Last
OBB
thing-
contest.
and last thing that I would want is in the next Spider-Man game. This is just something that I'd like to see. Some of the other characters playable that they have, because actually you look at the roster that they have for Spider-Man, it's amazing at how many different versions of or just characters that they have for that. Because I mean,
So
you
you're
got
saying
of
this
course
is an Amazing Spider-Man?
you got the Amazing Spider-Man, the Ultimate Spider-Man, who is now Miles Morales, I believe.
I have no idea.
But I mean, you also got Spider-Gwen, Silk, Spider-Woman. Have Venom in it, White Venom. You could do a lot with the Spider-Man series and have more than just Spider-Man as a playable character. I mean, I like Shattered Dimensions. They had the Amazing Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2099, and Spider-Man Noir. That was really neat. Just seeing like even little differences in the gameplays for just those 4 characters. I'd like to see that expanded on.
Oh, without a doubt. Well, guys, we've all got a lot to say about this topic, obviously. Go ahead and we're going to make some notes about this one, and we'll come back to it because, well, for one, we're out of time. But I really would like to hear more of y'all's ideas of what kind of games y'all would like to see, what kind of cool things you wish would come out of a developer's mind, or even a developer rip me off and make my idea flourish.
Yeah, if they hear one of these ideas, I wouldn't be too upset if they were inspired, quote unquote, by these ideas and made it happen.
So there we go. In 3 years, when we see a fully developed Monty Python game, we'll know where they got
You'll
the
have
idea.
us to thank for it, America. Gotcha. Got that?
We want credit for that shit.
Yep. Our names in the credits as they roll up after we beat the game.
Special thanks to.
And hopefully the credits aren't 4 hours long.
Alrighty.
Make us into characters in the game.
Oh hell yeah, that'd be mad. Oh yeah, that's also another topic for another time. What character or what game would you like to be a character in? So that being said, we already have some ideas for next week, but as you can see, we are running close to time, as Turf mentioned, and as is tradition at OPB. Turf, as if you hadn't said enough already, I think you should do the closing remarks.
All right, guys. Well, if you like this episode and you want to hear one where the other guys talk more and less of me, that's all the other ones. This is the most. So check us out on YouTube. You can see the video podcast there. We have all 16 episodes floating around the YouTubes. We have all the audio versions on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play. You can download those to your smart device and take us on the road. We're a good time. We'll keep you awake on that long drive. You can also check out ourparentsbasement.com, which is a great little website that is actually meant to look like a GeoCities website. That's not an accident. We don't have a shitty web designer. We did it on purpose, so it's genius. Keep that
And
in mind.
thumbnails are coming soon.
So all of our shows are on there. So check us out. Check out more of our shenanigans. Come and contact us. Get a hold of us. Leave some comments down in the below. You can hit us up on Twitter. We always love the sweet tweets at OPB Podcast. You can check us out on Facebook or facebook.com/OPB Podcast. And if you just want to get old school, send me an email. opbpodcast@gmail.com. So there you have it, folks. Get a hold of us. Enjoy the rest of what we put out there for you because we enjoy making it. And there you go. Mic drop.
And that is how we do it here at the Turf Show. I mean, our parents' basement. I'm kidding. Turf, I love hearing you talk. All right, everyone. As always, thanks for... Very nice. As always, thanks for watching, and we will be seeing you real soon next week. Until then,
Peace.
Later. Keep it real, America.
Whoops.
Whoops.
Whoops.